It's a Tuesday evening, ladies and gentlemen, which you mean it's SFR. Welcome back to round number 5, I believe it is, not round number 6, as we had 4 races. I think we mentioned our 5th different winner last time. My name is ILT Indigo, and alongside me once again is SFR Oliver.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're back for another exciting racing action. Can't wait to get this underway. Baku, tricky street circuit, and then I can't wait to see how all these 20 drivers in Division 1 is going to handle today. We had a good session last time out in Italy, I think that for a fact.
Yeah, we did, and Harry Kane came out as the winner. And actually, Harry Kane is the one that leads the championship in the next race, which is this one, by 3 points ahead of MDJ. MDJ and Glock, top 3 in the championship, and Harry Kane. Laser got demoted down into P4 after retiring as well. And interestingly, MDJ and Glock still haven't got a race win this weekend or this league yet, despite being in second and third in the championship. So those guys need to pick up a win. And there was a lot of incidents last time. I believe Williams is not here tonight, which is Rogue Smithy, and he has got a 2-race ban, unfortunately, after problems going on in the Italian Grand Prix. We've seen it plenty of times, but I'm not going to comment further. It's Hazara who's the second driver, Williams. So Williams have got a very strong driver lineup, and hopefully can gain a lot of points in this race too for their championship sake.
Exactly as well. And we're going to again bring a big shout out to the Mercedes pairing of Martin and Glock. Those two did a stellar job in the Italian Grand Prix, especially Glock, for last in the grid to be almost challenging for race victory is unbelievable. I hope he has another strong race today, is Glock. But also I want to bring a big massive shout out to Smoke as well. He makes his fabulous return to SFR after a big long hiatus. So welcome back, Mr. Smoke, and see you racing the Haas, the same thing I'm racing in at SFR. So yes, big shout out to Smoke for coming back into the league tonight.
A big shout out indeed, and also welcome to Nordis in the Aston Martin, currently in P4 at the top of the tab sheet. And Sonic Hawk is also racing with us as well. So we'll see who the first driver is on the circuit, which is Bear Remy. And Bear Remy last time got very unlucky as well, got wiped out of a podium chance in that race too. And he's also been in investigations after the race too, with a few penalty points to his name. But hopefully that will stop and end in Monza, and we can move on to Italy. We can move on to Azerbaijan. It is a difficult track. I'm expecting some safety cars, or maybe 1 or 2, but we'll see as we all go on board with Bear Remy as the driver for his first lap. Obviously the long straight, and it's a very long straight indeed with DRS, so we're going to see plenty of opportunities for overtaking around here, this particular part of the track. Obviously we saw Lawrence Stroll and Max Verstappen lose their tyre back in 2021, and we all know what happened after that safety car red flag 2. As we head down into turn 1, then hits the apex really nicely using the outside curve there. Bit of wheel spin on the exit for Bear Remy there, very easy to lock up the rear tyres going through there. Into turn 2, another left-hander we go. DRS enabled then, uses all the track available to him on the right hand side as possibly he can, as we make our way down into turn number 3. A left-hander once again, braking at the 100-meter board. Let's see how it takes it. It hits the apex very nicely, just getting close to the wall, bring it over to the left hand side, ready for turn number 4. Another right-hander we go into, and now the exit of it going into turn 6 and turn 7. A difficult complex. If you get the first one wrong, you'll get the second wrong too. But he opens up the second one very nicely indeed as we get back on the throttle for Bear Remy as we go down into then this right-hander we go. You can cut this right-hander as much as you can without validating. And now to the famous castle section, where it's cost a lot of people out. Back in 2019 we saw Charles Leclerc and Robert Kubica hit the barriers through there, and the famous quote, "I am stupid" as well. At the top of the hill at the castle section we saw Lewis Hamilton hit and lose his break his suspension at the top of the hill in 2016, which didn't give him pole unfortunately that evening at that particular track. Then in this particular corner, we saw Pierre Gasly and Brendan Hartley, where Brendan Hartley had a slow puncher and Gasly just missed him, luckily, and went off to the escape route. So this track has got plenty of history. Back in 2017 where we saw multiple safety cars and a red flag 2, and in 2021 where we saw that red flag 2 where Hamilton kept magic on, locked his brakes, going straight on, which gave Perez his first win for Red Bull. And talk about Red Bull, here's what crossed the line now. It's going to be a 41.4 for Bear Remy.
Very well, nice tidy lap there for Bear Remy, not making any mistakes at all. I mean, he was very poised with all the steady points there. As close as possible, Smoke with a 42.5. He could definitely have to banker. So all these drivers are doing their bank laps at the moment to see who makes the best first impression. MDJ now about to come across the line. Hazara 140.1. but that's very quick from him. And MDJ will be at a 142.4. So all the drivers now doing all their bank laps later. They'll probably come out a little bit later. Atlas is now out of the session. I think he's had a bit of an accident. Yes, he's crashed in the castle section, which is a bit of a shame. So with Sonic Court now, who's now going towards the final part of the straight now in the Aston Martin. Looking forward to see how he comes on. We've got also Zion as well about to come through as well. He's on the validation lap.
Dragons in P2, Nordis in P3 there as they complete the laps, and Sonic Hawk in the Aston Martin goes P3. Great qualifying for him. Last time we saw him in Div 1 was back in the Ferrari, and he qualified P3 in USA in mixed conditions, and he's back there once again in P3. But what a gap from P1 to P2, Oliver, this stage qualifying.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? It's an absolute humongous gap at the moment, but like I said before, it's completely... All I was like, MDJ has crashed out of the session. He's crashed it in the slow two right-handed, very tricky corner in this game.
Ooh.
In the last game, you brake as late as you can. They get the turn in this one. You've got to brake a little bit earlier.
And 2 victims have been claimed, which is Atlas and MDJ, unfortunately. So all lies on his teammate in P1. Hazara's got a healthy gap, which is 9/10, so ahead of Dragon. We still got yet to people to set lap times as well. Glock in P2 got a decent slipstream off the back of the Alfa Romeo, gets out of the way. I saw both Hassers, who were on a flying lap and an in lap, out lap, sorry. They both went off the track together in turn 1, so not quite sure if they avoided people or made contact there. But more and more lap times are coming in then after people invalidating. Langfeld puts his Alpha into P8. Lord Danny Boy puts his Ferrari into 7th. I believe he got a podium last time at the Monza GP, and somebody else as well. I think it was a reserve driver who got a podium too, but he got demoted down into 8th place, unfortunately for him. Martin in the medium tyres goes P9. Samid goes P14 on those medium compound tyres.
Exam coming up very soon. We also got 2 more cars coming. Speaking of Ferrari, did you see the Ferrari car being launched today? Oh my god, did it look absolutely gorgeous.
I'm glad you said the right word there.
Absolutely gorgeous, that Ferrari. I'm not going to lie, beautiful car. 10th place Zion in his Ferrari. Looks a lot more better. This year's car looks a lot more better than that one he's driving, so that for a fact. Makic about to come up next.
Here he is in the Alpine, then our race winner in Austria as Harry Kane, P1 in the championship, goes P2 right behind Hazara. So Hazara's got some decent pace that Williams only set 1 lap time as Hazara. He's put him on pole immediately and still got a big margin of 3/10, and these drivers there trying their best to close down as much as they can. Makit, who's coming towards the line now, let's see what he can do in the Alpine as he goes into P10 with a 41.6 in the Alpine. I need to keep it on the right graphic there because I kept it down the graphic on the right hand side. And Laser Lord then, he usually goes for late laps in qualifying, and that must be because he's saving or sacrificing a set of softs maybe to use early or late in the race just in case of that late safety car period or early pit stop on the soft compound tyres, get the best advantage of the best grip off the line. So here he is then.
Oh, Berimi! He's got back up to P3, Red Bull 2-3. Good work there for Berimi.
Indeed, and also Berimi's done about 3 laps of the same set of the soft compound tyres. I thought Berimi was a full-time driver. For some reason he's in the Red Bull instead of the Aston Martin, if I remember last week. So we switched teams, has Berimi.
Maybe Red Bull must have paid him some amount of money to get him into the car, probably. I don't know.
I need to look into that actually to see if he was actually a full-time driver, because I remember him turning up in a lot of races. I don't think he's a reserve driver. Let me go check the championship standings. I didn't see him on the reserve driver list. No, it says he's 5th place in the championship and his car is the Aston Martin, but for some reason he's in a Red Bull.
And Noldus is in the Aston Martin, very interesting enough, so very interesting to see.
Did you see Harry Kane leave the session, or did he retire?
Harry Kane, no, he's still in there. He's not retired, so he's still in the session.
This is MDJ says this is going to be a great day after drinking all day. So that explains why MDJ is somewhat off the pace and crashed in the castle section and not good for his championship aspirations whatsoever in this race. So maybe one to forget. And Glock says statements that precede unfortunate events which is very accurate indeed, Glock, and this will help him with the championship too. With the Mercedes driver, Jargon doing a great job in P5. He's scored some decent results this season. Has the AlphaTauri driver to mention him as well. I think he almost picked up a podium. He's currently P14 in the championship standings, but recently he started to pick up some pace. It's the AlphaTauri then, so it's still early in the season. We've still got plenty of races left to go in this season, so there's still plenty of opportunities for Jargon to get back up there or try and close down the points, but he's currently behind Ty Kern and JDM so far, and Lord Danny Boy, who I think finished on the podium in the last race in Monza. He's got a lot of points there, as we've still got some drivers out on the circuit. MDJ says the sooner I crash the better.
Laser's currently on the lap at the moment, who is on a flyer. He's about to finish off the second sector. He's set a purple sector 2. He's about to set up the second sector now. I think it's complete sector 2, I think. But anyways, he's in sector 3 now. So this looks a very handy little lap here for Laser. He's definitely get it up into the top part of the standings whereabouts, we don't know. 1 minute 30 just gone past. 1 minute 14.1 is the time to beat. Is Laser close enough? 36.7. He's now approaching 220 somewhat miles an hour. P5 for Laser, 140.7.
I was expecting this top line speed to be a bit faster than that, about 345 kilometers an hour, but it's quite a relative low to what I've seen so far in Baku. Remember, speeds about 365 kilometers an hour back in 2016 as well. They reached, and Valtteri Bottas, I think he still remains the driver that with the most top speed in that Williams as well. As in 2016, they had low downforce as well, but thinner cars. But Hazara is out there. He's coming out of the castle section. He's currently going for a second lap time, and we'll see what the Norwegian driver can do. He is Norwegian, not Danish, so I don't want to get confused between the two as we go down into this tricky corner where he's caught a lot of people out. Remember Antonio Giovinazzi and Lance Stroll crashing there. Max Verstappen crashed in practice, I believe. 4 tenths up! Unbelievable from Hazara. Where on earth is he finding this pace, and how is he doing it on the pad as well? He flicks his way in towards the final 2 corners, the proper final 2 corners, before we reach this little kink here, which is classed as the final corner at turn 20. Now, DRS enabled. Let's see what the top speed is on that Williams as he makes his way towards the line. A bit low than expected. Must be kind of a bit more downforce.
Oh my!
Wow. Just wow.
We got. By the way, you have got your 2 answers actually for from Andre. If you like to kindly read them out, that's fine by you. You got your 2 answers.
Andre. Remy changed team after they moved drivers between 1 and Div 2. Hazara is from, I don't want to pronounce this wrong. Bergen,
I think, in Norway, I think. But the Remy one we found out. We now found out now that he's moved teams because between 1 and 2 Div. Right, yeah, right, cool, right. Okay, what we got down here? Martin, he's purple, 7 tenths up in 13th place. He's doing a purple sector 2. This looking pretty good for the Mercedes driver. Look, what is what the Mercedes car is going to look like tomorrow. Be tuning in for that, 10:30 UK time. Because I'm a Mercedes fan, of course.
Is it going to be black or white? What do you think?
Or
silver, sorry, silver, yeah. I don't know why I said white. Sorry about that. Martin goes into P5.
Nice word there for Martin. Closer to Red Bull and Mercedes tonight. My answer to that one will be black. Because of the carbon cars, Mercedes can get away with it. I think most likely they're going to go black again.
The black livery back in Austria looked absolutely, back in 2020 looked absolutely lovely. I remember when it got first released back in Austria too, and we all was shocked as well. We all know why it got released as well, but obviously we don't want to go into political reasons. But Nordus in the Aston Martin is not cutting in a lap time.
Oh, Glock has hit the castle section on his lap. He's got no front wing.
Oh, that's a shame for Glock. He was also 2 tenths up in the first sector alone. So, has he got enough time to go back in the pit lane, get his wing replaced, and go out there again? That's the question.
Depends how long the time is, really. It's very interesting to see how that one plans out. So, we've got about 3 minutes left. It's going to be cutting close, but I think he can get in there, get in the pits, and go again. Laser's just come back on the track now for his final run.
Oh, somebody's hit the wall. I just heard somebody smash into the wall. Who was that? I need to find who it was. Was it Jerry? No, it wasn't. He's in the pit lane. But somebody just smashed into the wall. I heard it. Or is that me going crazy? Mackett in P13? Somebody's lost their wing on the track. Was it Xeno on his outlap? I'm not quite sure who it was, but people on the stream, you definitely heard that smash, didn't you?
No, well, hopefully the people in the stream will have probably heard it, hopefully. But here we go, then people start to come on that outlap, and Laser will be the first man to do his outlap. 1:39.6 to beat. That is a monstrosity time from Hazara. That is incredible.
No wonder people don't want him in this league. I wouldn't either, to be honest with you. But he's a very talented driver, joined ETA. I think he's still in ETA, and he's got a lot of esports events going on too. So he can't be a full-time driver, can Hazara, in SFR, as his esports managers really need him as well to take part in those events. But apparently it was Glock who caused that noise. So Glock smashed the wall again for the second time. I wonder what that noise was. I thought I was going crazy, but actually it was real.
Of course, it's very suited that Laser's in McLaren, because McLaren are launching their car tomorrow, probably after Mercedes, or probably around the same time as Mercedes. Sonic Hawk has retired from the session. He's now retired on the track. I think he has. No, he's retired in the pit. So that's Sonic Hawk out for the session. Laser now about the first turn one. Let's see how this lap will compare to his previous 1:40.7.
Let's take a ride on board with Laser as we head down into the left-hander at turn 2, clips the apex on the outside, gets a good exit as well, no signs of wheel spin for the McLaren driver as we make our way down into turn 3 then with the helping hand of the DRS as we head down into now the left-hander, braking at the 100-meter board, slowing the car down, straight line braking, and a very decent indeed. No signs of lockups. I don't think he's using ABS. I think he's using ABS is Laser, because I did see it on time trial when he was using that ABS symbol as well. As we head down into turn 6 and turn 7, can be easy to hit that wall on the inside. Just ask Nick de Vries back in the AlphaTauri last season. As we head down into turn number 8 we go, braking before the 150-meter board, hitting the inside curve really nicely, get as close to the wall as you can, square the throttle, straight up the car, into the castle section, just absolutely send it in third gear, down into second momentarily, then up into third. You can see him power sliding through the corner, and he's lost time now for sure.
He was a 10th up in the first sector. Let's see how much time he has lost going into the end of the second sector after this straight. So let's see how much time he has lost.
Here he is towards the end of the middle sector. He's lost about nothing.
Not a lot.
He hasn't lost anything really, he's gained actually, but maybe his last lap wasn't too competitive either on his side. Maybe made a mistake on the last lap, who knows. But Laser then has still improved in the middle sector. We're about to find out what he could do. I can hear some people scraping the wall on the other side of the track. That looks to be a Haas who scraped the wall, I think. Here he is coming towards the line. Laser's crossed the line now, is going to be a 40.7. Still goes into P5 ahead of Martin, despite power sliding out of the castle section. And now our main competitive, where are they on the track? Harry Kane has crossed the line, he's still in P2. I don't think Harry Kane had a lot of time to, I think he made the line before he actually got his last lap going. And Hazara 7 tenths down.
It's getting held up. He's on a lap. He's getting held up by now for Tower. He's got 7 tenths in the first sector. And Berrivi is a 10th up in the first sector. So right now still above Hazara, but he's losing time behind the AlphaTauri.
Best hope, but neither of them get a penalty, like a 5-place grid penalty for illegal blocking. The AlphaTauri is still going. Maybe they left it too late and time wasn't on their side. So the AlphaTauri is still going, but Hazara has lost 7 tenths. Maybe he would have backed out of this lap. As the AlphaTauri has hit the wall, I'm not quite sure who it is, but here we are towards the end of the middle set. So what's it going to be? He's 1.4 seconds down. He's still hard in the AlphaTauri. That's Draugen who's on a lap time. Draugen would not be happy that the Williams is right behind him then, and let's see if it'll affect him in this last sector on the straight. But Draugen wishes that he was in the same stream of Hazara, but not the other way around. And Lasers up into P5, Glock's in P4, Beremy stays in P3. What about Draugen as he makes his way now towards the line? Has he lost time? Being hounded by the Williams? No, he goes into P7.
Qualified done. Hazara gets pole by a big margin. Let's have a look at the difference of 7 tenths of a second between P1 and 2. Division 1 is outrageous this year. Absolutely outrageous. And with the power slide that Laser had, he lost 5 tenths alone with that power slide he had.
One interesting qualifying that was. I'm surprised about Hazara's pace. He's developed as a driver and he's come a long way too. I remember beating him in races years ago, but now he's smashed us all up. And qualifying then has commenced, and there are the results. We'll be back with you for the race. We'll take a short break from here. There are the results to give you the classifications. Right, I'm back, and hopefully you are too, Oliver. And what's your predictions for this race, mate?
Predictions. I can't predict Baku. It's too unpredictable, so I can't really predict really what's going to happen tonight. But all I know is it's going to be a really fun race. Really, really fun race. And next week we have got Singapore coming up, which will be another fun race circuit to do. But yeah, for this one, I can't really predict this one. It's too with Baku, especially the real life races, they're too unpredictable. All we can say is let's have some fun tonight.
Hopefully. And also, what I was saying about Hazara's top straight line speed was correct. It is not great at all. He's got a lot of downforce slapped on that Williams. It says that he was slowest in the speed trap, was Hazara, commented by Samid as well. So he's one of the slowest on the speed trap, but still quickest around here. That requires a lot of straight line speed.
My word. But I think what he's doing is coping on the sectors 2 and 3. As is for sector 2 and 3 is what he's relying on, and sacrificing top speed for sector 1. So that could make us an advantage if he gets a good start. But as you can see from tyres, like nearly 70% or 80% of the drivers have gone for the harder compound tyre. It is a tyre degrading circuit, we know. So I'm not surprised the drivers go for the harder compound for this race.
Yeah, I'm not surprised either. So everybody go for the most durable tyre, which is the hard compound tyre. It's the most durable, takes a bit of time to heat up, and we've got 3 medium runners, which is Spoke FX and Jagermol and Jerry Oreo Glass down in P19 on the medium compound tyres. What could MDJ do? I don't expect a lot from MDJ considering he's been drinking then, so a lot of concentration is required around the streets of Baku, but I don't think he'll be in much concentration mode. I think he'll be more drowsy mode in my opinion for MDJ, so he might be struggling here tonight.
Well, if he's... Oh, I got a car in the wall. That's a McLaren. I think that could be JDM, I think. Yeah, I think it's JDM. Yeah, it's JDM. JDM hit the wall. Luckily, no damage is on during the formation lap. He got away from that one there.
Imagine if damage was on, you have to come in the pit lane at the end of the lap and start in the pit lane.
Oh, God. If you want to make it really realistic, then yeah, definitely.
Well, yeah, I really want pit lane starts as well. It'd be very interesting because, like, you have part of Mermaid's on, and if you want to change your setup, you've got to start in the pit lane unless there's a lobby restart, of course. But yeah, it'd be interesting about pit lane starts as well. But obviously, it's not that realistic, and yeah, I don't think Codemasters will implement it.
Well, let's see what F124 brings this year. I can't wait to see how that game's going to turn out. Anyways, Zara and the rest of the 20 drivers are about to hit the grid for the 26th lap of chaos around Baku's famous street circuit. The races where 2016 it was a mare, but for the rest of them, my word, win it a lot of adventures to say the least in this event.
2016, and yeah, like you said, it was a quiet race. The 2017 is where we had that chaotic race where Daniel Ricciardo won from 10th on the grid, had to make an early pit stop as well due to something wrong with his brakes, whether they caused some debris, I'm not quite sure. But after that, it was a very chaotic race with both Force Indias crashed into each other. Let's see what the Baku Grand Prix brings. Could there be 6 different winners or 5 different winners here in Baku this season? And Lord Danny Boy Mackie gets a drive-through penalty already. The lights are away then. Let's see who gets a better start. Hazara gets a good start off the line, then he covers both Red Bulls. And here we are, Harry Kane versus Beremi. Both Red Bull drivers going side by side, but looks like they sorted it. Further behind, Mercedes versus McLaren. And down the inside goes Glock on Beremi. On the Red Bull there, they go side by side. Let's see if they get unscathed out of the corner, which they do. And Glock slots into P3 ahead of Beremi as well. Martin look behind with Laser down in P6. Looks like they got out unscathed, and everybody survived the first few corners on the opening lap. Down the inside goes Mackie on JDM. Will they make contact? No, they won't in a tight corner like that in turn 3. Can be very difficult on the brakes there, but they made it out, and JDM is ahead and stays ahead actually on Mackie, who gets a drive-through penalty for jumping the start.
Yeah, Roger just caught them on board. Yeah, they did jump the start, which is unfortunate. But look at that. Hazara absolutely launching away. 1.2 seconds ahead now. And Laser's giving Martin an almighty push through that tight right-hander. But surprisingly for these drivers, very clean start on the first lap compared to what we had in Division 1. But yes, very, very clean start. Well done to all 20 of them.
So as expected, Hazara has pulled away in that crucial first middle sector to make sure he has to break DRS. We saw his top speed, but there's Aston Martin, or Martin, who's just scraped the wall out of turn 17, and hopefully he gets away with it as well, because that is a very difficult corner going downhill. The elevation change, the heavy braking zone, and the barriers around as well. So hopefully whoever hit the wall, I think it was Martin or Noldus, keep an eye on that one, as you can hear Oliver's phone going off in the background there. His girlfriend or roommate probably texted him. But as we end lap 1 out on 26, then on to lap 2. No DRS yet until the end of the second lap, and then we can get the rear wings open. There's some people in the pit lane to probably serve their drive-through penalties. We've got action going on in the background. We can see a Ferrari going down the inside or just bails out of it on the Haas. That was Zenum there in P16 looking to go for a move, but thinks better of it. And already at the top of the field, Hazara pulls away.
Unbelievable. 2 seconds ahead. Look at Glock down the inside of Harry Kane. They're both touched. Very close between the two, but look, they've just got away with it. And the moment they find the ball, Hazard's going to pull away. And still defending it, still got Harry Kane, but Glock's got the inside now going to the turn, and he does get it. Brilliant racing between the two.
Indeed, and Glock putting his Mercedes into P2. Then both Mercedes and both Red Bulls are fighting and we'll see which constructor, which manufacturer, which engine comes out as the best then, as Glock then in P2. Hazara has checked out in front. There's no trouble for him whatsoever. He's completely relaxed there in P1 and has no threat whatsoever behind him. He can relax and focus on the head and hope it's the end of the race for these guys. Well, I hope it's the end of the race very soon for Hazara. He's got no action whatsoever having that mighty pace.
And we've got a Ferrari in the wall. That's Danny Boy in the wall in the Ferrari, which is unfortunate for him. So we got this is the days, isn't it? Mercedes versus Red Bull. Oh, those were the days back in Formula 1, wasn't it?
Yep, 2021, which you are talking about, where Red Bull caught up. Mercedes were very dominant back in 2020. Then Red Bull caught up, obviously, and they almost won the first race of the season back in Bahrain, but Verstappen overtook Hamilton illegally off the track. And we all know what happened back in 2021. Langfell's been swamped by two drivers. MDJ, P17 to P10 already in the first 3 laps. Great start despite driving under the influence. And let's see how many positions he can gain. But I think Samid is still there with him on the back of him. Let's go on board with that pack. Just further behind, there's a second group of DRS being shown on the track. There's the second group then. MDJ is the leader with Samid right behind him. It could be very hard to catch up in the front of this pack here, because these guys will pull away with the helping hand of the DRS there in their big DRS train. Samid's still behind MDJ for the time being, not able to make a move, but Martin is so close to the back of Baby. There he is, going side by side, but just doesn't get past. Here comes Laser.
Unbelievable driving between the loads for these drivers, literally going 2-0 already on the third lap with the DRS activated. I think Hazara is just cut down his deck show at the moment with nearly 4 seconds ahead between the two. Martin's got a little bit wide. Lazy takes the title ice with his double right-hander, and he'll be all over him in the DRS zone. And this midfield fight as well is getting a little bit juicy as well, with MDJ, like you said, making an absolute brainstorm at the start, and maybe probably gone sober already.
There's a yellow flag down there. That's another Ferrari, unfortunately, which is Zenon, who's had a had an excursion off the track somewhere, probably down at turn number 8. He's before the castle section, and both Ferraris get going again, so they're both down in P19 and P20 then. All 20 still remain, no safety, no virtual yet, as Hazara still continues to lead this Grand Prix. He is a reserve driver. Oh, I think I just heard somebody hit the wall at the final corner there. I think it was JDM who might have tapped the barriers, but Glock is ahead, or behind Harry Kane. He puts his Red Bull back into P2, and these two will be trading DRS all day long as well, trying to keep the others behind and swapping positions constantly before the pit stop. Sonic Hawk is ahead of Langfeld. Sonic Hawk has returned to Div 1 as well. You can see the Alfa Romeo Langfeld getting a bit of a slide out of turn 1-2. But let's have a look then, see what happens going down into turn 3. Will Glock pounce back on the Red Bull? No, he doesn't. He stays behind for the time being. Smoke now is ahead of Langfeld. He puts himself up into P13 with the helping hand of the DRS as well.
Now, Martin's getting a little bit pulled back now towards Lazy. He's more behind Berrimi than Lazy's getting close to Martin. So Martin's is starting to get a little bit slackish down in that Mercedes. He's got a bit of catching up to do. 1.5 seconds between Martin and Berrimi, but Laser 0.3 of a second behind the Mercedes. So Martin's got a little bit of catching up to do.
Yeah, he has as well. Got a bit attached from this DRS train, has Martin, but can he catch up? And he needs to get about 6 more tenths if he does so, but it's going to be very difficult. He used a lot of ERS as well in his batteries to try catch up towards Berrimi and the others as well. So P2 to P4 might be able to pull away from Martin, and that'll be a very difficult task as well. Jargon is getting very close on the back of the Aston Martin of Noldus as well. CT Noldus, who's done a great job so far inside the top 7, hanging on to this DRS train right behind Laser and Martin too. But looking good for the championship leader so far of Harry Kane in P2, and Hazara, who's the reserve driver currently in P1. He's the leader of the reserve drivers so far in the championship standings. But let's see what Berrimi does. Will he overtake Glock? Will he put both Red Bulls in front of him? Let's have a look. They go wheel to wheel on the straight. Jargo versus Noldus right behind too. But looks like Berrimi's ahead, and Laser's ahead of Martin, and down the inside goes the AlphaTauri, but not just yet. He bails out of the move so far. But Glock is looking to fight back on Berrimi. Both Red Bulls versus one Mercedes is a bit exposed here, with his teammate further down in P6 fighting with Laser. But let's have a look. Will it compromise him trying to fight both Red Bulls now, as they can play a game with Glock, a high-speed game of chess with those two?
Both Red Bulls are absolutely flying them, and MTJ makes another place now, on overtaking Laser in the McLaren. That's ninth place now for MTJ. Next car to take on is Noldus, who's shown a great showing in his debut in Division 1 after being promoted from Division 2. So Noldus having an absolute breakthrough race here in his debut race here in Division 1.
Yeah, he is indeed. Is Norris doing a great job of PA. You can see Glock is all over the back there. He's able to keep up in those slow speed, mid speed corners. Oh, I think Martin's just hit the wall. Has he? Did I see him go straight to the wall?
Yes, he has. He's lost his right front end plate.
Oh,
Martin's got a front wing damage.
do you know what? I wasn't on board with him. I was off board, and the angle he was going into the corner looked like he was heading towards the wall. So I was right again. All these wall bangings I can hear as well. That's helping too. But Martin, unfortunately, has sustained damage now, and will compromise this race and put him in jeopardy in his P6 position there. And will he pick this lap as well? Let's have a look. As you can see there, loads of cars are bunched up behind Dragon as well. But Dragon should take advantage of Martin, who's lost his end plate.
Oh my! Oh, Dragon's a little bit slow through there. He had got the corner.
Oh, big crash! What just happened? Is that three cars?
Out. JDM, Samad. I think that's a massive incident. So JDM's out. I didn't see the incident, so that's a breakthrough. That's a massive escape for Martin. He has front wing damage, and now lucky of the Scottish. He's gone into the pit to get the new front wing in less time. Brilliant.
So safety car has came out. You can see the Alpine has lost his wing. Is that Samad has lost his wing? I thought I saw two cars in the wall together. Looks like Samad escaped.
Yeah. Samad has got to have a front wing change. Off it goes. On goes the new one. Oh, I tell you what, Martin's lucky. They had that safety car coming out. Very, very lucky. Very lucky.
He is indeed, and he hasn't really lost any time. Has Martin down in P13. His Mercedes teammate did pit, so they had to double stack. But Glock has responded immediately, so I wonder what happened towards Beremy and Harry Kane. They've got to double stack, you know. I think one of them should have pitted first, then the other pitted later, because they haven't caught the safety car.
It must be the time of the safety car, because they're all going down the main straight, and the thing is that both Red Bulls, Asara, were literally especially Asara, have gone past the pits. They were literally at turn 1, so that's unfortunate timing for them. Glock, on the other hand, literally couldn't come at a better time for the safety car. He was just there at the pit. So this could be a position change for Glock when the Red Bulls do pit.
I think he might get one of them, but not to the other. I think it's Harry Kane he won't get, obviously, but I think Beremy, he has to pit, he has to respond. He can't afford to be stuck there on all the tyres, because he'll drop like a stone if he stays there on all the tyres. It does make a big difference, but I think the guys at the front will pit. It's a no-brainer to pit as well. Luckily, they didn't catch the safety car when the safety car got deployed. They passed turn 1 when the safety car was about to go on the pit lane. And here's Hazara in the box then. But like you said, Glock's timing was impeccable there, and Harry Kane actually stays out. He does not go to the pit lane. It's Beremy who pits.
Beremy, yeah, but to say so let's have a look at Glock is about to approach the final kink, so he will overtake Beremy. Noldus has stayed out, which is interesting. Harry Kane has stayed out, so we've only got two guys have a box. MDJ, he's box. Langfell's box. So yeah, so Sonic Hawk has a box, and both Aston and Harry Kane have not boxed, so that's interesting.
That is a very interesting strategy call indeed from Harry Kane. Letting second place Red Bull driver pit as well, especially your new teammate. I thought Harry Kane would have got to the pit lane first, but it all depends as well when the safety car got deployed. Let's have a look. I'm going back to that incident where it all unfolded. I don't think I could see it clear enough because it was in the background of my screen. I'm not quite sure what happened. It looks like JDM got flipped over by Makit, but I'm not quite Samad. I'm not quite sure who caused the incident. They were too far back to just tell. I'll try and zoom in for you.
Yeah, but to say JDM's apologising in the Division 1 chat, so it could be on him. To be fair, he's saying sorry in the chat. It could be his incident. So that's very interesting, very, very interesting. But Glock has overtaken Beremy. So what the Astons and Harry Kane going to do? Surely going to stay out now. They missed their chance to get. especially the Astons. I would have thought one of the Astons would come in, not the both of them, which is very interesting. Maybe they want to go longer and sacrifice track position, and maybe hoping for a late safety car towards the end of the race. That's very interesting to see.
Do you know what's something interesting as well? I'm looking at the full track map and when the safety car was deployed. The safety car was deployed when both Red Bulls passed. Glock was just further behind, and Glock was able to sneak in the pit lane and get ahead of one Red Bull. But I think Glock's in a good position, you know, to jump one Red Bull, then get the other while he's on older tyres as well, and possibly Hazara if he's got the pace or not. But Hazara's pace has been absolutely mighty. He's out of the equation. I don't think anybody's challenging him, unfortunately. Well, I say unfortunately. Unfortunately, everybody else on the track, it must be said. But in terms of the Drivers' Championship, Glock just wants a clean slate and try and get ahead of Harry Kane and try and win this race if he can, because Glock still hasn't won this season. So he's awaiting his first race win, but fighting with somebody like Hazara is going to be a very tricky task indeed.
Yeah, what I'm thinking as well, that from Glock's point of view, Hazara is going to get a little bit held up by both Astons and Harry Kane. Is Glock going to use that to his advantage to overtake Hazara, and then hopefully challenge the guys in front of him to use a little bit of a roadblock when Hazara does catch up to him? It could come to many things. If Hazara steams or just steamrolls the three guys in front of him, or God can get an almighty restart, overtake Hazara, and overtake the three guys ahead of him to use them as a bit of a roadblock. It can go two ways with this one.
Could indeed. I'm so surprised by one of the Aston Martins didn't pit as well. I'm still surprised by Harry Kane's strategy as well. In P1 he's going to lose a lot of time, so best hope for a safety car for him early stages after this one goes. I don't think he has anything on those hardcore power tyres to keep those new medium runners behind. And also Smoke, who started from mediums, I think. He's on the hardcore power tyres, so it's helped him. But I don't think those mediums those guys have got on now will go to the end. They'll have to make another pit stop for sure. But Smoke could go to the end, I think.
Yes, I would agree. I think Smoke, if there's no safety car to the end of the race, Smoke will have the best tyre advantage out of the lot of them because he's got the durability. The guys on the medium compound tyre, they're going to stretch it, but I don't think it's going to be enough at this stage of the race. It might pushing towards a late safety car. We don't know, but in Smoke's view, if there's no incidents on the track, no safety car from this point forward, I believe Smoke will have a great strong end to this race when it comes to the checkered flag. So this is going to be this is a massive game of chess, and it could turn out in many different results.
Could go down. It could go down in different ways, but we'll see. The safety car is in at the end of this lap, and Harry Kane will take him away there. Will it get a strategy, or will it pay dividends for him later on? Who knows? But people like Hazara, Glock and Beremy, they've got to get past those old Harvarders immediately to continue and try and keep up. And Harry Kane can determine when to go as well. He will become the safety car leader effectively after the safety car is in the pit lane. He'll control the pace, make sure he doesn't accelerate, brake and accelerate, and go whenever he feels like it as well. The safety car is in. And let's see if he goes right. Now, he can't go right now because of the slipstream. We saw this back in 2017 and 18 where Sebastian Vettel tried it as well, and it didn't pay dividends for him, and Hamilton got a good restart to keep him behind on that particular day. But here he is then. He puts the hammer down, gets going once again, and Sonic Hawk is right behind his teammate as well. They go side by side. Now Hazara makes it 3 abreast as we go down into turn 1. Will they make it unscathed? And let's see how risky this is going down into turn 1 for Hazara. Hazara is up into P3, gets one Aston Martin, gets very wobbly out of turn 1, and look at this. Here comes Glock around the outside. Here comes Hazara down the inside of the Aston Martin. The other Aston Martin, he gets put on the curb. He gets swallowed up by guys behind. Here comes Laser. Here comes Beremy. Here comes MDJ. MDJ makes contact with Beremy. He's up into P6 after starting P17 as we go down into turn 3. That was a very very chaotic there. First few corners of that lap was, but that was great race indeed.
I'll tell you what, fair play to Noldis for holding off against, trying to hold him against Hazara, but now here comes Glock now down the inside. He's going to take the outside line going into the turn, and Hazara is already on Harry Kane. Is this going to be a change for the lead? It is, into the double hander. That is an absolute brave move from Hazara, and he's going back into the lead, and he is now going to start to pull away.
Oh dear, this could end terribly, and he hits the wall.
Oh
He hits the wall, but out of the
Sonic
castle
Hawk.
section.
No damage I can see.
I thought he lost an end plate. Did I not see an end plate go? Or has he kept it
I-
intact?
It's kept an attack, only just though. But MDJ's now up to P5 now with the Williams.
That's crucial as well. From P17 to P5, it could help Williams massively. Oh, the Aston Martin has hit the wall. And that looks like it was Sonic Hawk, who just went a bit hot. Look at this, 3 abreast going down into turn 17. Look at this multi-car battle. The AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo, Haas, Mercedes, the other Haas get out of shape. He was spun there like Mick Schumacher did back in 2022, I believe, 2021, I believe it was, or 2022. But look at this multi-car battle going on here. Oh, somebody's hit the wall again. I can hear somebody crunching the wall. And you can hear that sound effect going on. But look at this. You can take a picture of this.
Oh my word. Literally, that's a great shot, isn't it? And from the helicopter, that is an absolutely fantastic shot.
I don't have a helicopter cam, unfortunately, but the Alpine, that looks like it's Mackett going around the outside of Langfeld there. We've got loads of cars changing positions. They made it out unscathed, and a few dived into the pit lane of Sonic Hawk there, so his strategy on those hard compound tyres did not work, unfortunately. He's pitted onto a brand new set of mediums and he'd be hoping that he pitted earlier on rather than staying out, but he chose track position rather than new tyres. Here comes Samid up the inside of Smoke, who goes down into P13, but he's on the hard compound tyres. I don't expect him to be that great at a particular stage of the Grand Prix. Out in front though, Hazara, usual performance from him, controls the lead, and the gap is 2.1, and the gap behind is 1.5 for Harry Kane to Glock. So Glock is in a comfortable position so far because he's got nobody's DRS. He's also got somebody on all the tyres. Behind him is because Laser is trying to hunt him down, but still can't overtake the McLaren Red Bull driver.
I tell you, wow, this is helping out Glock and Hazara right now because Laser is really trying to get past Harry Kane, but Harry Kane's not going to say no to under those statements. So, and it's also helping out MDJ as well. As Mackey is getting past Nolders for position, this is going to help out Laser. Not going to help out Laser's chances to crash down Glock. He needs to get past that Red Bull as soon as he can.
And he gets a decent exit out of turn 16, then he goes wheel to wheel with Harry Kane. Not really conventional overtaking of place, but obviously both guys on different tyres, and Laser makes his way up into P3. Now MDJ in the championship lead, or championship hunt it seems, going wheel to wheel. Look at Harry Kane, not willing to give up. Laser could lose 2 positions here on the straight as we go down into turn 1. MDJ is derated on the straight, he takes 2 for 1. MDJ is up into P3, unbelievable, from P17. Incredible after driving under the influence too.
Unbelievable. 2 cars in one straight. Absolutely brilliant from NDJ. He sneaked up on the slipstream of Harry Kane. Then he gets a better slipstream from Laser, who's still stuck in that little motion again past getting the track. Then NDJ just sneaks from the inside, saying thank you very much. I'm going to take 3rd place and you two keep on squabbling. Absolutely brilliant for NDJ. Williams 1 and 3.
This is good for Williams in terms of the constructors. What are they needed as well after a poor performance back at the Monza Grand Prix, it must be said. But here they are in Baku, 1 and 3 for both of them, with Glock down there in P2 as well. In the Mercedes doing a great job. Where's Martin? He's currently in 11th place. He got held up due to the double stack in the pit lane as well, so that's why he's lost a lot of positions and not in this DRS train. But lap 11 out of 26 then, Hazara leads by 3 seconds, a good healthy advantage. But the question is, can MDJ catch Glock as well? The gap is 2.3. Glock has got a good advantage as Bear Remy overtakes his teammate and he puts himself up into P5. So Harry Kane's strategy is currently not working, and I don't know what he thought by staying out there on all the hard compound tyres. He's down into P6 now and a long way from home too, unfortunately for him. A long still on those hard compound tyres. He lose a lot of time as well, unfortunately for him, and he'll have to look behind him rather than in front.
I think what Harry Kane's doing now, he's goal hanging for a late safety car as Laser is on the back of 3rd here. He wants that position back from NDJ after he overtook him in the previous lap.
MDJ straight line speed is still decent enough to keep the McLaren at bay, even though he's low on ERS, and he keeps him at bay still, even though Laser had the DRS on him the whole straight. He stays at P4 for the time being. But what's the gap going to be like between Glock and MDJ? Is he bringing the gap down? Is he trying to bring the gap down? He's maybe being thwarted a bit because Laser is right behind him, trying to delay his progress and catching up with that Mercedes. As here we are down into turn 3, Laser does not go for the move. But if they trade DRS down the straight, they could potentially get closer and closer towards Glock as well. So Glock is going to be very careful of MDJ coming at him, especially the championship's sake as well, as it's very close to the championship.
Jagamel just gone past Smoke, going into turn 3 with the RS, so has to switch, and Jagamel gets an almighty amount of oversteer going out of turn 4. And but he still holds on position. He's down to 12. He's now going to try and catch up Martin. But I'm still banging on the two Haas guys to get a good result out of this. They're on hard compound tires. But let's see how fast is the grade with the medium compound tires. Let's see how hard they're fast as the grade. As Draugen is now all over the back of Hurricane's Red Bull now. Down the inside he goes. And that's P6 for him. And Hurricane loses another place.
Yeah, it's a shame for Harry Kane there. Staying on the hard compound tyres has cost him in the end. And Draugen there getting very scurrily coming out of turn number 17 there, fortunately for him. But it looks like he's escaped free with no damage as well. But Harry Kane is under pressure from 2 Alpines behind. Unfortunately, Oliver, we won't get 6 different winners because Hazara has already won a Grand Prix. So that won't count, unfortunately, for us.
Oh, that's alright. It lasted long as it needed to be.
Yeah, indeed it was. Not going to be the 2012 season like it was when we had 7 different winners, I believe it was, or 8, I'm not quite sure now. It's a long time ago. Martin is up into P10.
It's still Baku. It's still Baku. Unpredictable things can happen.
I've seen it where someone's dominated the race and the safety cars came at the worst time, and they've lost the lead there despite being in the lead the whole time. And looks like the Ferrari Lord Danny Boy got out of shape in turn 1, but still keeps the second Haas of Smoke at bay for the time being. He's on the hard compound tyres, so he's expected to go to the end where some medium runners might have to pit. Here comes Baku down the inside, but not able to get close enough on Harry Kane. Harry Kane dropping like a stone on those hard compound tyres, unfortunately. But interestingly, MDJ P3 has brought the gap down, and here comes Baku trying to go around the outside, but not able to get fully alongside enough to try and claim his line of position. But does a decent switchback. Does he get a better exit on the Red Bull? No, he doesn't, and stays behind him for the time being. But as we go down into turn 8, Hurricane will be constantly under pressure from drivers on newer tyres. But yeah, like I mentioned, MDJ has brought the gap down towards Glock, and also has dropped later from his DRS. The gap is 2 seconds. What's happened to him?
I'm not too sure, but look at this. As Berimi now, he's literally pushing Laser towards this turn over here, this difficult braking zone. Vish is going to turn in a very, very interesting little scrap as Hazara is 4 seconds ahead of Glock. His car is like a rocket ship. That high downforce that he has is working. Absolutely brilliant stuff.
Don't know how he makes these setups work as well, especially when they're not suited towards the track. But MDJ now is almost in DRS range. Here comes Berimi on Laser. He's put himself into P4. Could be on course for podium. Berimi, he was almost on course for podium back at the Monza Grand Prix, but he got wiped out in turn 1. Here's a Red Bull who's in the pit lane. That is Harry Kane then, who's had enough of those hard compound tyres. Unfortunately, his strategy hasn't worked out, and the safety car will not be coming out on this particular occasion for him.
That is unfortunate. The strategy did not work out for him. He was currently, P2? Before the safety car came out, he's now fallen all the way down the field to P17? That didn't really work out for him as much, as MDJ is now chasing down his former team from last season, Mercedes, catching down Glock.
He is indeed from P17 to P3, crashed out of the castle section. I thought he was going to do good by driving under the influence, but still P3, and it could be a Williams 1-2, and this could be a massive haul on points for Williams. They need it in the constructors after a difficult first few races from both ends, from Rogue Smithy and MDJ. MDJ didn't really get going until after the Hungarian Grand Prix. A difficult first 2 races in Spain and Austria, but after that he came back very strong to finish on the podium in Belgium and also Monza as well. We narrowly missed out on the podium. But here he is in P3, putting pressure on Glock right behind him too. Is Beremi. Can he try and catch up towards these two? Let's have a look as well. But in the constructors, if it finishes like this, if I can find the constructors, Williams could catapult the order up to P2 if it finishes like this, or maybe P1. I'm not quite sure what the points deficit is around here. I think it's P2 for sure that they'll catch up.
Here comes MDJ now on the back of Glock. This is going to be an overtake here for P2. 4.6 seconds is the gap between the two Williams cars now. MDJ from 17th of the grid to P2. That's not a bad second stint for him. I've seen that now for the Williams after under the influence. He might be turning sober already. Absolutely brilliant driving from MDJ. Absolutely brilliant.
Shouldn't be behind. You shouldn't be behind the wheel, but under the influence. But MDJ is making it easy out there, and he's up into P2. Obviously, I'm not going to say drink under the influence. Don't listen to me, of course. But look at MDJ.
Look at MDJ indeed, as Martin is all over the back of the two Alpines now, so he's going to try and catch down. Smoke gets past his teammate for 12th, so he will now try and catch down Lord Danny Boy, who's 1.8 behind. And behind the Ferrari driver.
Oh,
and
in the wall!
Speaking of Lord Danny Boy, he has had an accident, and both Haas cars will now go into P11 and 12 because Lord Danny Boy has lifted the rears and touched the wall.
Yeah, massive wheel spin coming out of turn number 6 there for Lord Danny Boy, and unfortunately paying the consequences for that. It is a difficult track, a low grip surface indeed, and he's followed down as a P13. A contrasted race for him, considering he finished on the podium, I think, back in the Monza GP. And can MDJ, he's actually dropped Glock from his DRS. Unbelievable. How on earth did he drop him from his DRS? Look at the pace he has. He had a bit of a moment coming out of turn 16, just sliding out the corner, but power sliding. Berimi is starting to catch too. A podium chance could be on course for him in the Red Bull there, considering he's dropped further back in during the first safety car.
Zara. It was 4.5. It's now 4.0. What on earth's going on? What is going on with Hazara? It's what, 3.9 now? Is it due to the fact? Oh, who's coming to the pits? It's Glock. Glock is coming to the pits. 10 laps on mediums. Is that a wing change? Is it a tyre change?
Probably a tyre change. Is it?
It's wing change for Glock. Oh, what a shame.
It probably explains why he's lost a lot of pace, unfortunately. I was expecting the media runners now to pit, but not for a wing change for Glock, unfortunately, and his podium chances will be gone, unfortunately, for him. So chances of winning a podium is out of the question. But yeah, like you said, MDJ is starting to catch Hazara. Can he catch his Williams teammate and try and become the 6th different winner here in Baku?
No, I don't want to be biased, but I'm going to be slightly biased. If MDJ could win this race, make it 6 from 6, that'd be amazing to see. But we're not going. I don't want to be biased. I'm going to remain neutral. So, so the closest fight we got is the two Haas guys moment of Jürgen and Smoke. So this is the close fight between the two teammates.
What I'm seeing here, the gap's going up and down all the time between MDJ and Hazara. In the middle sector, Hazara gains time. Then MDJ starts to gain time in the first and third sector. That's why I went from like 3.8 to 4.2 moments ago, and now it's 3.9 again. So as long as Hazara doesn't make any mistakes, same with MDJ, the gap should be fluctuating up and down in each sector, and in this final sector here, we'll see MDJ close the gap down to 3 seconds or 3.9 seconds with the amount of.
Big fight here for P10 here, P11 here.
Is that Glock and Hurricane? Oh, there is. Look at that.
Oh my word! This is how on earth do they keep all that clean? My word! Glock is now taking on Hurricane side by side. Glock gets past him on the outside. Brilliant.
The question is, though, I'm starting to think, can those media winners now go towards the end on those set of tyres? Are they going to be good enough towards the end of the tyres? I'm not quite sure. Will MDJ think about an early undercut as well? But we'll find out, because MDJ starts closing, the gap is now 3.5, so he's starting to have a lot of pace. Here comes Hurricane on Glock. These two in the championship are fighting the top 3, of course, but in different circumstances, different positions. Hurricane, who was on the wrong strategy from hards to mediums in the safety car period, and Glock, who changed his wing. They're back together on the circuit, is Glock and Hurricane, and these two, they can be very, very difficult drivers to beat on their day as well. They're very clean, they're very fast, these two. They've got a lot of respect, I think, hopefully, as we've seen lots of battles from these two in the past. Here comes Glock on Hurricane down the inside into turn 3. And he gets his man and he puts himself up into 10th place. But are these guys going to pit again, those ones on the medium compound tyres?
It's like I said before, it is a stretch, but Smoke now in P8 now. He's now catching down Martin. 2.8 now is the gap. Now my theory is, this is a very big theory, Smoke's going to the end. We all know that. But how bad those medium tyres, the guys in front of it are going to degrade it towards the end. Is Smoke going to take advantage from the type of degradation they're going to have? How far Smoke's going to get up the field, or do he remain wherever he is? We're going to find out by the end of the race how far he's going to get up.
It's looking all quiet now. The gaps are separating. Nobody's really. But Hazara is in the pit lane then to call it a day on those medium compound tyres.
So, maybe 11 laps is the limit for the medium compound tyres.
Maybe he might be going on the soft compound tyres now. Maybe he has a set. No, it's another set of mediums. So he's not going on the soft compound tyres. It's a set of meds. Maybe the soft compound tyres are a rubbish tyre around here. This track.
Now that's interesting to see. Glock 43.2, fastest lap in 10th place. Good lap from him as Harry Kane's still pushing him along.
I wonder if MDJ will respond this lap. I don't think he'll go to the end of those medium compound tyres because they'll drop off the cliff dramatically and he'll start to lose a lot of grip. So Hazara is right behind Samid now. He's not an easy driver to overtake, is Samid, but he'll never give up. But we'll see how quickly Hazara can get past or when he get held up behind the Alpine. MDJ will be hoping that Hazara gets held up. Even though he's his teammate, he's still fighting for the championship, and Hazara is a reserve driver. But what a worse place to be stuck behind somebody in the castle section.
Oh, and you can tell by that as well that Hazara is literally getting held up by Samad. Literally, he was about to apply all that power, all that nearly 1,000 horsepower from that Williams to get past the Alpine, but none to no avail. And he's still getting held up. He'll try the DRS zone when he can, but he's losing a lot of time here.
Good news for MDJ, of course.
About to say, MDJ, is he going to pit or not? Is he going to respond, I wonder?
Let's have a look then to see if MDJ responds as well. He's still stuck behind the Alpine, but he should be able to overtake. But maybe Hazara might get him back, you know, because he'll get DRS.
Yes, he is. Right, MDJ's responded.
He's in the pit lane, but what about Hazara's overtake on Samid? Because Samid will get him back on DRS, because he overtook him before the DRS zone. Here he is. He pulls out to the left-hand side, and he will re-overtake him again. And not good news for Hazara to be held up again.
So MDJ is going to fall right back down the field. We're smoking all of this. Smoke's now got up to P5 now, possibly P4. No, MDJ just comes out in front of him and on fresher tyres. So right now, advantage MDJ, but Smoke on this. Oh my God, a little fight going on here. Langfeld and Harry Kane are fighting.
I think Langfeld is now behind Harry Kane, who's behind Glock as well. So a little squabble going on there. Smoke is in P5 on the old hard compound tyres. Will be under huge pressure from the guys behind by Glock and Harry Kane. He pitted from mediums to hards. He started the medium compound tyres. He was one of the 3 drivers that did so, and he might be under pressure now. He's in P5 and a great result. He'll be under huge pressure. Look at Glock, the amount of grip he had at the corner to be alongside him now, overtaking him, going down into turn number 7 we go.
A little bit of argy-bargy as well to get by the end of it. So Bear Rimi's now about 8.7 seconds ahead of Hazara with 12 laps compared to what he stopped on. So right now it's advantage of Hazara. We can't MDJ get past Samad before Hazara gets away as far as he can. He needs to get past Samad as soon as possible.
He does. Well, I can't afford to be stuck behind Samad like Hazara was. This is crucial for the last 7 laps of this Grand Prix. And looks like, what will Bear Remy do? Would he go to the end? Is there any point pitting now? Because he will lose a lot of time if he did.
Well, we're going to have a look now. No, he's not pitting. Oh, Sam's out! Sam's out! Is it going to be a safety car, I wonder? Is it going to be a safety car? Oh my word, that was so close to being a massive accident.
The outside wall is pointed out, but thankfully no drivers are being caught out. No safety car! No
That's
safety
incredible.
car! How?
That's incredible. That's incredible.
I bet, for people like Smoke, I bet he was desperate for one as well. He's under pressure from Harry Kane, but he defends into turn 1. He keeps the Red Bull at bay. I'm surprised there's no safety car on that occasion, but luckily MDJ doesn't have to overtake Samid. He's right behind Hazara again. But here comes Harry Kane side by side with Smoke, and he puts his Red Bull up into P5, a simple move, and Glock's pulled away his 2. Now Makia is on the charge to try and get past the Haas, who's on older tyres. A vulnerable feeling for the Haas. He can't do anything about it, of course. Down the inside he goes into turn number 4. That was a great move. And look at that, Laser takes advantage too. Just slips through, and now he's right behind Makia in the Alpine. So it's a sinking feeling, unfortunately, for Smoke in the Haas. But that's the way things go, unfortunately, with the safety car timings.
About to say the same thing myself, but that's how the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. That was a good idea, though, for Smoke to go hard tyres to the end, but it looks like these Division 1 drivers are way too calculated for that move from Smoke, but it was a nice attempt from him, though. Very good attempt.
Two-stop then is the way to go during that first safety car. Maybe the Haas wasn't the right tire to go towards the end either. But Beremy, 6 laps left to go. He has opted to stay out. Will that be the right call? I think Hazard will definitely get him. MDJ could be close towards the end. And Glock, I don't know. But I think Hazard will definitely get his lead back for sure. But I think Beremy's now fighting for P3 in this race. He's opted to go for the one-stop to stay out there. I think he's doing a two-stop actually. I think he pitted early on as well. Yeah, he's doing a one-stop, so I don't know what I'm talking about there, but he pitted quite early. Here comes Laser on the back of Mackett with the DRS. He's choosing his way to get past. Finally pulls out to the left-hand side and overtakes him too. Or doesn't overtake him just yet because the RP's got DRS too on the back of Harry Kane. So we go down into turn 1. Jaugen is ahead of Smoke and he puts himself up into P8 in the AlphaTauri. Jaugen doing a great job again in the AlphaTauri, scoring more points for that team, which is soon to be called V-Carb Racing. And don't want to say that on commentary.
Well, 2.6 now between Hazara and Beremy. So yeah, like you said before, Hazara is going to catch Beremy. That will be done and dusted. But MDJ 5.9, 5 laps to go. He does need to get his skates on to catch down a second place really. And look at this, and Laser on the back of Harry Kane. He's going to look down the inside. No room there. So Laser will have to stay behind Harry Kane throughout the carousel section.
And Harry Kane pitted earlier on in this race. He did not pit behind the safety car. He pitted a few laps after it. So that's why he's under pressure from guys on fresher mediums. That's why he's on older mediums too. But Hazara is now in the DRS range of Beremy. They're headed down into turn 16. So let's keep an eye on them. And this should be an easy overtake from Hazara. Obviously with the pace difference and the tyre difference as well. So I don't think Beremy has got anything to respond with to try and keep the Williams driver behind. He's all focused on P3 really.
But that P3 looks to be just safer now because MDJ is still 6.2 behind this pairing. So Hazara with the fastest lap, 43.0. That is ridiculous from Hazara. He will be safely away in P1. It's now down to MDJ if he can get his skates on and see if he can get close down to Beremy as Laser overtakes Harry Kane for P5.
Yeah, he does indeed. Martin's on the soft compound tyres then, so I didn't see him pit again, but he's up into P10, and he's the only driver. Well, Sonic Hawk has joined him on the soft compound tyres too, so Martin there going for a late call on those soft compound tyres, and he's up into side of top 10. He got caught out with the first safety car because he had to do that double stack, and Jaugen is ahead of Mackett as well, so great drive from the AlphaTauri driver, 3-lap old tyres as well, and 3-lap holder for the driver behind, which is Mackett. So looking good so far. Can Jaugen finish in P6 and try to overtake Harry Kane, try and get his best result of the season? We'll find out for the AlphaTauri. Looks like Zenim's in the pit lane again. Noldus is in the pit lane. Noldus, unfortunately, it's gone downhill for him. Started down in P8 and now down in P18. So not quite sure what. I think the first safety car is what went wrong because he didn't pit, did he?
No, he didn't, along with Sonic Hawk as well. So both fastest will finish down low in the points for this race.
It's all about pitting at the right time too. We saw multiple safety cars come out at Monza, but here in Baku only one safety car has appeared. I was expecting more, but MDJ has started to close the gap down towards Beremy, and Beremy's been dropped by Hazara too, so it's all eyes on P2 as Sonic Hawk goes quickest in the first sector on those brand new set of soft compound tyres, so watch out to see if he does the fastest lap towards the end of this lap. But Jaugen has caught up towards Harry Kane and now he's got DRS on the back of the Red Bull driver, so it's not going well for one Red Bull, and the other Red Bulls looking over their shoulder too in second place with DJ on the hunt. And here comes Jaugen and pulls the left hand side, and he will overtake the Norwegian driver and puts himself up into P6. Great drive so far. Could P5 be the cars for him?
That's a very good big shout, to be fair, because Laser, it could even be P4, because to think about it, Glock's just up ahead of him as well, just ahead of Laser. So P4 could be on the cards for Jaugen here today. But I'll tell you now, my drive of the day will be MDJ for an accident caused by himself into the wall, being 2.6 behind second. This is going to be very, very close to see if MDJ can catch down Beremy. This is going to be so close towards the end of the race. And Laser is literally on the tippy toes of the DRS of Glock. So we've got fireworks come to the end of the race.
2 seconds is now the gap between MDJ and Bear Remy. So it looks like Bear Remy is under imminent danger now and under imminent threat from MDJ. The overtaking the possibilities are getting higher and higher for MDJ's sake. And look at this, a DRS in right behind Glock. It's not gone well for Glock at all ever since he pitted earlier on to change his wing. He pitted on lap 16 and we thought it was an early pit stop too. And he's been under pressure from Laser. Draugen as well. Hurricane is 1 second outside the DRS range of Draugen. And what about Martin down the P9? He's a bit too far back on Mackett. Those soft compound tyres are only 4 laps old, but we know what happens to Sauce when they get about 4 or 5 laps old. They start to just deteriorate straight away because they're not really a great race tyre. But here's the battle for P4 going on then. Laser behind Glock, Draugen behind Laser, and let's see what the order is. Coming out of turn, well, look at Draugen already to the left hand side. Look at the straight line speed. I don't think Laser's got a good straight line speed at all in this race. And he's up into P4, takes 2 cars in one go, and Laser becomes a victim of that again by MDJ.
Second time that's happened really for Laser. That happened on that occasion, but MDJ is in the DRS zone of second place. It's game on now for P2.
And both Hasses have swapped positions as well. Wiagamore, haven't really mentioned him much, but doing a great job so far in P10. And Langfell's pitted then, presumably to go for the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. We'll see who gets it, because I think Sonic Hawk currently holds the fastest lap. And here's MDJ right behind Bear Remy. So Bear Remy, there's nothing they can do. I think he might have to give up on this one because MDJ is clearly on much quicker tyres. But we'll see how easy it is to get past the Red Bull driver. Obviously, we won't let him go, of course. We'll make him work for it. But P2 is inevitable unless there's contact made.
So right now, MDJ 0.2 now. He's literally pushing Bear Remy. He's waiting for that DRS. So he's going for the easy way to get second place. Don't blame him really, but for the taste this battle, it's battle for P4 with Draugen, Laser and Glock literally nose to tail in DRS zones. So this is going to turn to a very, very tasty game for P4. MDJ will get a solid P2 once he gets his overtake done down the main straight.
I'm very happy during this race too, because Monza, it was a very chaotic race, but I think in this race it's been chaos free. Obviously there's been a crash or two, but it's Baku, of course you expect that. But here comes MDJ on Bear Remy. Here he is then. It should be a straightforward move, and with the DRS enabled, should get past him on the straight. But I don't think Draugen, with 2 laps left to go, the gap is 6.1 or 6.0 now as it continues to go down. Will he get in with 14 lap fresher tyres? I'm not quite sure, but it's a big ass from there. Bear Remy now is holding on to that P3 spot, and we'll see if those guys behind can catch up. Draugen's done a great job so far during this race. I'm really impressed with his performance here tonight as well. He's had some good results the last few races as well, and this will help in the championship standings. He's currently outside the top 10 in the drivers' standings, but with this result, it'll boost him up as well. And Bear Remy as well. He's actually dropped Laser outside of second of DRS then, so Laser looks like he's having struggles with his straight line speed. He doesn't look rapid at all in the straights.
No, he doesn't, and like you said before, Glock is still catching on the coattails. Draugen is 5.1 seconds. Yeah, it's way too old. I think Bear Remy has pretty much got this one covered. If the tyres can, well, you think about it, 18 laps, he could be on a risk of a puncher. So let's hope that happen. But always get very oversteering. He's getting very out of shape. This could be game on for Draugen. This could be game on. He's closing the gap by seconds.
The gap was like 3.6 to like 3.4. So like you said, Bear Remy could be on course of puncher, or his tyres getting way too old and exhausted, and there's no more life left in him. He's off the pace.
Draugen can see him. Draugen can see him. This is game on. He's got one more lap. Draugen is going to push the living daylights out of the AlphaTauri to see if he can get close to him. This is game on.
And also, he best hope that Laser don't overtake him too, because he's in the DRS range. But we saw Laser straight line speed. It's not effective around here in Baku. But Bear Remy, he's got one more lap to survive. We start the last lap of the Grand Prix. He needs to hold on. The gap is 3.1 now. Can he gain 3 seconds in one lap? It's possible, because his tyres are constantly dying on that Red Bull.
I'm going to keep an eye on Draugen here. Well, no, Bear Remy, while you keep an eye on Draugen. Yeah, 2.8. But this is going to be very, very close out the track. Let's see if Bear Remy's tyres can hold on.
We saw in that middle sector how much time he lost. And if he loses that time again in the middle sector, Jargon could be at the back of him with DRS down the straight. He's got to be very careful. This is very intense time for Berimi. How do you wish he pitted again on the brand new set of mediums? But
it's just not it's not getting the traction he needs out of the second sector. This is the slow section. He's not going to get nothing out of this.
And you hear there is Jargon. You can see the AlphaTauri in the background hunting him down. The gap is 1.9 now. It's getting very close.
He's going to get DRS by the end of this lap.
It all depends on this middle sector for Berimi. He had a very poor middle sector last lap. The gap is constantly going down. But will he get him before the detection point at turn number 17? We'll have a look then. The gap is 1.2. It's constantly going down. Jarko can sense the podium. He didn't expect it whatsoever. But on the last lap, it looks like the AlphaTauri's chance of a podium is getting stronger and stronger. But it all depends now.
I'm about to say, can he get the grip now? Hazara is about to win the race, but this is dramatic scenes now coming out to the these final corners. He's in the DRS zone. I think he's going to get DRS here on Berimi here.
The gap is 7/10, but can he do it? Here comes Hazara to win the Baku Grand Prix. MDJ will finish in P2, but all eyes on P3. Has Berimi done enough? I think he has, you know. He's just holding on to the podium. He finishes in P3.
Oh man, what a finale!
Oh, Berimi, he manages to hold on despite being on the older tyres. He's the only driver, I think, except Smoke, to do a one-stop, and that's on the medium compound tyres. He took the mediums the majority of the race. 20 laps he took those mediums as well. Incredible from Berimi there. A very risky strategy, must be said.
Yeah, but I say, but my driver today will have to go to MDJ for a crash in qualifying, but he secures the Williams 1-2 with Hazara. Perfect day for Williams.
A very perfect day indeed. What could it have been if MDJ did crash out of qualify? Could he have had a good fight with Zara? Both Williams up there? Who knows? But at the end of the day, they get a 1-2 and they take maximum points as well, which is good for the constructors as they need it after a difficult last few races with both drivers. And obviously we know that Rogue Smithy has got another race ban, so we won't see him in the next race, unfortunately. But hope he's back after Singapore, and hope he's collected his head as well and learns from his mistakes.
I'll tell you what, a big shout out to Smoke as well. Finished strongly in that one in his race back. Noldis as well with Sonical. I think Noldis got a bright future here in Division 1. With the pace he's got, I think he'll cope just fine here in Division 1. If he didn't have that little slight mistake under the first safety car, I think he would have a fair shout getting good points today.
As I'll get all the drivers then in the podium interviews. And my heart was beating for both drivers. Obviously I'm unbiased, so I've got to be neutral. But I didn't mind who got a podium as long as it was a good race between the two Norwegian drivers, between Berimi and Draugen. And we'll get Hazara, MDJ and Berimi in the podium interviews, and we can get kick started. What a very good race as well. It was a chaotic free race, it must be said, considering what happened in Monza.
Definitely, and big shout out to Hazara as well. Absolutely strong pace from qualifying to the race victory. Absolutely brilliant. Nearly 8 seconds ahead of his teammate. He couldn't ask for a perfect day. And also Atlas Scopo as well. He had a poor weekend in Monza, a poor weekday in Monza. To come back P12, that's a great result for him as well. Noldis in there, I think he'll come back from that. Solid Cork as well. Both Astons will return strongly coming into the next race. Draugen's so close, so close to getting third.
I'm still surprised that Berimi made his mediums last 21 laps as well. And we'll start with MDJ as he's in the party already, so I can't be bothered to wait for the other two. But MDJ, mate, driver for the day for me from P17 to P2. How on earth did you manage to do that as well, especially drinking under the influence?
I mean, that's the reason. Drinking. No. No, I think his Azerbaijan Baku is pretty good for me anyway. Doesn't matter if I'm drinking, yes or no. I'll be fine racing. So, of course, in qualifying, a bit of a mistake, but For the rest of the race, it was all nice, good pace, I guess, and then hoping to get close to a zero, but didn't work. So P2.
The positive is that you beat your rivals. That means you get the championship lead despite not winning a race this season. That's very interesting. So you take the championship lead with no wins this season, but yeah, it was a very strong race for you, and looks like your season has started to come alive now after having a difficult result back in Spain and Austria too. So what's your expectations going into the next few races? Are you expected to be much stronger now after a good run so far?
Well, I knew I was gonna go fight for the lead and the championship, and so when when I was partying tonight, I was like, oh damn, I have to race and I cannot afford to miss it because I'm gonna lose the championship that way again, in the same way as last year. So I was I kind of had to go back to home to race, and I was like in like 1 or 2 minutes I'm gonna sprint back to the party and continue my drinking phase. So yeah.
Are you quite surprised with your pace you had as well? Because you overtook a lot of drivers on the track as well. And with the helping hand of the DRS, your straight line speed was amazing. And were you surprised about your straight line speed today? Because you got past a lot of people with that too. A lot of people running low downforce setups, it looks like.
Um, I was not so surprised for me in overtaking a lot of people on the straights. I was pretty much surprised for me to be driving away from people in the corners. Because I heard that a lot of people were driving really high wings, like 50-50 or 25, 26, and I was way lower than that. So I was pretty much surprised I was walking away in the corners as well.
And congratulations on P2, mate. You're first in the championship. And how are you feeling for Singapore?
Um, Singapore, I'm gonna be sober as hell, so that will be much better than today. So we'll see what's gonna happen.
We'll see indeed. And Oliver, you got any questions for Mikey?
Yeah. So, what this is going to give you confidence now going for the rest of the season to really challenge for this championship now?
I mean, yes, I guess so. I mean, it's not my first time doing something like this, so I mean, I'm kind of getting used to it. But yeah, well, for the rest of the season, we'll see what's gonna happen. Maybe I'll do this again, and maybe not.
Yeah, hopefully you don't get beat in the championship this season like I did to you last few years ago. No, I'm kidding, I'm DJ. I'm kidding.
Enjoy the rest of the party, by the way.
Yeah, Beremi and Hazara are here. So, Beremi, oh mate, what a last lap that was. I'm so impressed with you for keeping on because the gap was going down dramatically. It went from 6 seconds the last 2 laps towards 3:10. So, how are you feeling, mate, towards the last lap? You must have been very nervous.
Um, yeah, I saw he gained a lot, but it was just about management, tire management, and trying to drive smoothly and yeah, hit the braking points, and yeah, you just have to get confident, and you know the tires are that hard to drive, so after 21 lap on the same medium tire, yeah, I just focused on what I had to do, and I saw he coming, but yeah, it was yeah, yeah, I managed it to be third, and that's really great.
During the first strategy, you were second best behind your teammate when the safety car came out. So I presume you two in the party talking to each other. Why was it that Harry Kane stayed out and you pitted first? Because usually the driver in front pits first, or has the preferred choice.
We were talking about that there could be several safety cars, and if you waited, you might have the best medium tires at the end. But I realized that many pitted, and that we were lucky with that we could see that everyone behind us almost pitted before we need to pit. So that was that made the choice for me easier. And he told me he was going to stay out, and I just thought I had to do the opposite.
Fair enough, mate. And also, were you surprised that he stood out too?
That Harry stayed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he told me he would do. So yeah, he gambled on later safety cars, and unfortunately for him, it never happened.
Are you more happier now in the Red Bull? It's your Red Bull debut here, and you were in the Aston Martin previously, so are you more happy in the Red Bull than you were in the Aston Martin?
Oh, I feel the season so far has been not where I wanted it to be. So yeah, I'm happy with this result, and hopefully I can bring some good points to Red Bull.
You have indeed. You might overtake Laser in the championship too to go up to P4. Maybe Glock, but that may be a bit of a stretch. But you're one of my drivers that also I've got in mind to be in the championship fight, like you, Hurricane, MDJ, Glock, Laser, and you. Well, I sort of said you to be in the championship fight. So, do you think? Are you nervous about the championship fight, or are you just going for the one race at a time thing and just try and take it from there?
Yeah, after this start of the season, bad thing happened to me. So I'm just
I agree.
focusing on one race at a time, and hopefully I can bring it back. MDJ looks strong, Laser looks strong, and Glock looks strong. So I think it's about us five, and I think it depends on the track. Some of the guys is fast on one track, and a few others is faster on the next track, and so I guess the fight will hang on for many races to come.
So that was always the strategy then, just go when you won the medium compound tyres, take them towards the end. You had no intention to pit again despite others around you pitting?
Yeah, I did, but I saw that Glock came out far behind, around 13, 14 place, I guess, and then I thought, okay, if I go back there, maybe something happened to me, so I decided to just wait and hope for a safety car, and I thought that could maybe bring the victory for me after Hazara decided to pit. So, and I knew some of the guys couldn't overtake me as easy because I had good straight line speed and a low back wing. So yeah, I just had to try and hope for a safety car, and I knew I could make it. So yeah, it was yeah, I just decided to do it that way.
It's nice to have you as well as a full-time driver this season after you did take part later in the last season too. You've had great pace, you scored a few podiums last season, and you scored a podium here as well. I think it's your first podium this season, Beremy?
Yeah, I guess so. It should have been more, but I think this was the first, and congratulations to Hazara and MDJ for a good race.
Yeah, well deserved P3, mate. I was very nervous for you at the end of the Grand Prix as well, both of you, to see who get the podium. So you held him off. You chose it. You did the right time as well, because I think on the penultimate lap you made a big mistake out of Castle Section as well.
Yeah, the brake bias was too low. I had to change it all the way. So after that, I just decided to bring it more up and try to be as smoothly as I could on the last lap to bring home the third place.
It's nice to talk to the podium, mate. It's been a long time coming as well. You definitely deserved the podiums the last few races, but obviously things have happened which we'll not discuss and hopefully move on. But nice of you to join us in the podium interviews, and nice to hear from you, mate. And Oliver, you got any questions for Beremy?
Yeah, is this redemption after last week's event in Monza? Again, one's with unfortunate mishaps between you and Sniffy. Is this redemption going on to the podium in this event after what happened last week?
I don't know if I would call it redemption. I just trying to focus on every race, trying to drive clean and try to not mess it up for myself and everyone else. So it was sad that race happened the way it did, but in the end I don't think I could done nothing else. So anything else. So yeah, no, it was not redemption. But yeah, I'm looking forward for races to come, and hopefully I can score more podiums and maybe I win later in the season.
And yeah, what I'd say. What about Singapore coming up? Have you got confidence going into there?
Yeah, I like medium speed corners, so hopefully I can do a good result there as well.
Thank you there, Bear Remy, and thank you, Oliver. And we'll move on to our race winner. So, Hazara, what questions do we ask, mate? To be honest,
The rocket ship of Azara, to say the least.
what should we ask, Hazara? You tell us. You give us the interviews. You talk. You tell us how the race went. You ask us questions.
Oh yeah, leave it. I'll try my best. Okay, so Azara, you dominated qualifying. You by what? 7/10 of a second, and you finished the race at nearly 7 seconds ahead. What did you have in the back of that Williams that made you think to pull out that much of a gap is ridiculous? What was your mind and strategy going into that race today?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't really know what the secret is. My plan was to run higher wings. Like I was running significantly higher wings than everyone else, which obviously gave me an advantage in quali. So that was really the plan, just to qualify well, preferably on pole, and then just make a gap and don't have to worry about anything else. And that's exactly what happened, really.
Yeah, because the thing is, you after the first safety car, you were literally you were down to like I don't know, P6, and you went through the field like it's nothing. Was the high downforce setup the way to go? You did some track off track running to see if it actually works compared to the low downforce setup. Was the high downforce setup was the way to go for tonight?
Yeah, I believe it was. Obviously, you have to make it work, the corners. Like when you're running higher wings, you have a less margin for error because you have to pull a gap in the corners. If you don't, you're a sitting duck. So that was always the plan, was to make a gap, and yeah, it worked out really well. Actually, it worked out better than I thought. So when I got stuck in traffic after the safety car, the thing was the people ahead of me had old tires, so they were really slow in the corners. So I could just pass them, all of them, in the space of 4 or 5 corners, really. So it was pretty smooth sailing today.
Of course, you're a reserve driver for the next two races because you got another chance in Singapore coming up. If you are competing in Singapore, then if you are, but competing in Singapore, if you are competing, are you going to do the same thing again like you did tonight? Because that was an absolute dominant performance tonight for you.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know about Singapore. It's not my best track. I enjoy driving it, but yeah, I'm not sure if I'll drive it at all. I might have some other stuff I have to do, but we'll see.
ETA.
Yeah, exactly. ETA and also work. So no, we'll see. I enjoy Singapore, but I don't think I'm gonna create a gap like this because everyone will be on similar level of wing, I think.
And was you expecting this type of performance tonight? Because literally, it could have gone any better for you, literally, from what you had tonight. Were you expecting this sort of result?
I was expecting to be in the fight for the win, sure, but yeah, I was not expecting to run away with like 3 seconds in 2 laps type of thing. I was really surprised, but yeah, it's just a difference of philosophy, I guess. Some people go higher wing, some people go lower, and obviously when you're in front, high wing is great, but if you're stuck in traffic, could have been a different race. So I'm lucky it panned out my way today. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that.
I mean, that's like the Max Verstappen of Baku, to say the least. That's like Max Verstappen type territory, dominatory, well, dominant performances. That's unbelievable. Well done, team man. That was well deserved of a victory.
Thank you so much.
And also, well, from me, Hazara, congratulations on your second win this season as well, breaking that 5 in a row for different drivers. But yeah, you drove amazingly today, flawless for what I've seen and what's Oliver's seen as well. No mistakes whatsoever, and great pace from lap 1 to lap 26. You did amazing, and even though you're on a pad, you just make it seem so easy as well. So you give us hope for those pad players. You are on a pad, aren't you?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, I'll give you settings later. But congratulations on the win, mate. You absolutely deserve it as well. And what about yeah, you've already had to Singapore, but what about being a full-time driver? Do you think? Do you think you can do it all?
I would like to be a full-time driver eventually, maybe in a few weeks. Yeah, it's just a bit more security. You don't really know if you're racing or not until the last second, really. So it would be nice, but yeah, I'm enjoying it regardless. It's really fun, and yeah, I've been trying to do my best, and luckily it was enough today.
We just got a comment from Mackie saying hashtag Azara out. That might be a new trend.
Yeah. No,
That was unbelievable. Absolute dominance. Bloody well done for that one.
And
yeah, thank
Mikey,
you.
MDJ has gone back to drinking as well. So good night for him as well. But good night for Williams overall. It's a 1-2 with Remy on the podium. His first podium of the series as well as he closed in the championship. Who will come out in Singapore on top? Join us back for next week on Tuesday at 7:30 for the Singapore Grand Prix. And Oliver, thank you so much for joining me in the comments box too. Been an absolute pleasure once again.
Oh, can't wait for the next one. Singapore's going to be an absolute classic.
I hope so as well. So we end off Baku then, a great race with one safety car, not much chaos, good overtaking, especially from MDJ. We'll see you all at 7:30 for the Singapore Grand Prix, and tune in as well. And tomorrow we'll see the McLaren and the Mercedes livery. Gives your opinions about it as well.